So wanted to say thank you very much for Daytona in Ruislip for enabling me just to do this quick test ride today. First impressions on the Kawasaki Versys 1000 2024 model.
Let's have a go. Split seat's interesting. It's actually a little bit higher than my current bike, I think. So, get the mirrors just the way I like them. Apparently we've got a quick shifter. Listen to that, sounds amazing.
So apologies for the sound quality on the video. I don't really know what happened actually with the old microphone, whether it was just too close to me or not close enough. What I did discover a bit later on was that one of the vents at the front was open, so wind noise was pretty bad. It was recorded throughout. Hence why I'm doing this voiceover. Yeah, so very much first impressions of this Kawasaki Versys today, and what I will say is right off the bat, the engine is absolutely fantastic. It is an inline 4, so smooth, 1 litre. But a lot of people have said it's characterless, and I'd say that that is not accurate. It's got a character, and its character is that it's very refined. It's like James Bond in a suit. It's got the punch in there. It's just not, it's not a wrestler. It's very much Queensberry rules. This is an engine that can knock your socks off basically, but it'll do it very smoothly. So that's one thing. Let's have a look here what I'm doing here though, just wiggling around. It's a big bike, but it's very agile. It's very easy to ride. The center of gravity is pretty good, it's pretty low. It's high enough to give you that feeling that you're in control, but it's low enough so that you also feel in control. You can have some fun on this bike, definitely, as well as all of the sensible things that come with it, such as, great wind protection, cruise control, heated grips, brilliant sort of wind protection from that screen, and I just had it in the lowest position and it was still absolutely adequate, even at motorway speeds, given I didn't even do motorways though, so A road speeds, let's say dual carriageway speeds, absolutely fine. And as you can see, ample power for anything that you'd want to do in terms of touring. In terms of touring, this is an absolutely wonderful bike. It'll just eat up the bumps on the road, and if you're wanting to travel a distance, you're going to get there in absolute comfort. Albeit the seat is a bit hard, but that said, I was out on this bike for just over an hour and I had absolutely no problems at all with that firmness. And as I say, the suspension, this was the semi-active, this is actually the manually adjustable one. Very easy to do. But yeah, the setup was absolutely lovely. It just actually rebound, very smooth. The bumps, you're not really feeling them at all, and when those brakes are absolutely astoundingly good. And when you're pulling hard on those, they are progressive. When you pull hard, you do not have that big old spring back up. It's very controlled, very refined. Everything about this bike is very refined. Good mirrors enable you to have a really good view all round. They're out enough. The shape takes a little bit of getting used to when you're not used to that shape, but actually it works very well. Of course, I've got to mention the quick shifter because that is phenomenally good. It's literally like using a paddle. You are keeping a constant acceleration and you're flicking up, and it's just one to the next, to the next, to the next. It's perfect. It's exactly the same on the way down, all the way down to 1, and from 1 all the way up to 6. It's really great. Very smooth, very efficient. I was out on this bike, as I say, for just over an hour, and I think the first 5 minutes and the last 2 minutes I used the clutch, and apart from that, I think maybe stopping at a roundabout, you'd pull in the clutch, and the clutch is actually very smooth and very easy as well on the hand, so overall great. Got the cruise control as well, so if you are on the motorway, that is an incredibly easy thing to set, and it's really ergonomically well thought through. So it's on your clutch hand. It's one press. You see the light come on the dash to tell you that it's active, and then it's down to set, and then up or down to change the speed. But actually, one of the nicest things, tip from the guys down in Daytona, to release the cruise control, just roll the opposite way on the accelerator, and that reduces your speed perfectly. I did notice in sports mode, if you're at a higher speed and release the cruise control, engine braking is pretty strong. So actually you may be better off in that situation on a motorway or something, or just touching the back brake, just to warn people you are coming to a bit of a slowdown. Talking of the brakes, they are phenomenally powerful, and certainly that front brake is beautiful, progressive, very strong, very powerful, very little bounce back. The back brake is finessed. It's again really refined. Talking of refined, just having a look at this video here, this clip here, really between these two roundabouts. This bike can really move. It's got all the power you'll ever want, and as I say, it doesn't do the gurgles, the backfires, and all of that stuff. It's just smooth. That engine is smooth. Linear delivery of power all the way through the power band. Did get a few vibrations, I have to say, around 6,500 revs, but most of the time it wasn't at 6,500 revs. I'm going along at 2,500, and when I go through the 6,500 revs, I'm going through it within a second. It's rare I'm staying there. When I'm cruising around, I'm cruising around very much at a lower revs. And one last thing I'll just speak about, because talking about revs, is how lovely it is to have that actual meter. You've got your separate rev meter on the left, and it makes the smallest TFT screen on the right absolutely perfect. It's not distracting at all. It's got absolutely everything you need there, and it's all totally accessible. My eyes are at the moment, they're kind of like, oh, I'm thinking, do I need dual vision lenses? But actually, even with my glass, not wearing any glasses, I don't need them for distance at the moment. So, but looking down, looking far away, everything is just so clear. You can see the speedo there, you can see the revs, you can see your gear indicator, and there's a whole load more, a little more information there down in the bottom, including your kind of the range, the fact that you've got your cruise control on is a separate little light. You can see it round about the 2000 mark on the rev counter. It's just a separate little mark there, indicating that that's active. But your range, your petrol, etc. It's all very clear. It's all beautifully worked through. So overall, yeah, I thought this bike was lovely, and incredibly good value actually as well. So if you are looking for one of these, I'd recommend go get yourself down to Daytona in Ruislip. They've got a great range of bikes up there. This is me just bringing the bike back in now, and you'll see exactly where the showroom is. Just on the left here. The other side of the road is the HGB, their sister's shop, which does all the Hondas. And that was just a quick run through of riding this Kawasaki Versys 1000. Really lovely, really enjoyed the bike. It's got all you'd ever really need. For a touring bike, this is, I think, absolutely perfect. I mentioned the luggage, but the luggage is really simple. Just literally slot and lock. Slot it on, lock it, same key. Brilliant. Thanks for watching.